What's going on, everybody? It's the Rewind. I am the Kai Tai Show, joined by my esteemed colleague.
Hashtag mute RN, Mr. 8984.
What's up, RN?
Quiet storm voice.
I'm telling
What's up, boss man?
You got to get that mic closer to you, man. I'm telling you, it sounds so good. Your voice is like chocolate.
Like this?
There we go. Hey, that works. What's up, you guys, man? It's the Rewind. This is the show brought to you by Smacked Raw, where we recap the latest week in wrestling. We let you know what's going on inside and outside the ring. It's always a lot of fun to shoot. We're normally live every Sunday at 9 p.m. RN's stomach had to do the job last night to some bad dinner. So here we are shooting it a day later on Monday afternoon. Actually, Monday evening. I didn't even realize
it was legitimately a 24-hour virus. Like, I literally was out of it most of the day, and then I woke up this morning completely fine.
Yeah.
Like, nothing wrong at all.
Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad. Yeah, so normally we're shooting this on Sundays at 9 p.m., but today, obviously, it's Monday, just before Monday Night Raw. We appreciate you guys joining in the live stream. I already see you, Bama and JJ. Love you guys. Thank you for being here today. If you ever miss a live stream, you can always catch it on YouTube, youtube.com/SmackedRawPodcast. We've got our podcast heading there. You always have all the Bammer Slammers. And, of course, now my new 10-second reviews that I may or may not have been under the influence when I recorded the last two.
Drunk Kyle is the best Kyle.
What's that?
I mean, I said drunk Kyle is the best Kyle.
Not drunk. I haven't been drinking, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I haven't been drinking. I've lost. So I've done two things. I've quit drinking alcohol, and I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. I've already shed off like 12 pounds. Just that alone in this first month. No, man. So it's whatever. This is an adult podcast. Who gives a shit? So I've never really been too big a fan of smoking.
Right.
But I do know it helps curb like my cravings and shit. So I'll smoke a little bit here and there. Funny story. So I was at work, and it was the 4-year anniversary from this Facebook post I did where this customer offered me a tip at work. And they said,
I saw that.
Yeah. So what they said they did was one of their little side hustles was they owned a bunch of vending machines, and they stocked them with like candy and soda. And what they did was they gave me a 5-pound box of Starburst. It had 24 fucking sticks of Starburst in that thing, right? So it was the 4-year anniversary. I posted the picture of the original post. Not even a week later, it has been outdone. It has been completely outdone. There is this crazy customer that came into work. She owns one of those like internet cafe things. They're like like gambling in states that you can't gamble in.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's their loophole. Yeah. That chick came back from Vegas. This is going to be for like the video people here. I'll tell you on the audio side what we're looking at. She gifted me these Crunch Berry fucking edibles and gummy bear edibles right here, man. This gummy bears had
That's fucking legit.
600 milligrams of THC in them.
Fuck.
And the Crunch Berries had 400 milligrams. For one, I had never done edibles outside of these like shitty cookies I made a decade ago. These tasted exactly like the package said. They tasted just like Crunch Berries.
Bro.
The gummy bears tasted like gummy bears.
Man, fuck all that. I cannot, like, I can go, like, even at 100 milligrams, I'm still done for the night. But, like, I did a 500 milligram one time, and I literally don't think I got off the couch for about 14 hours.
So, look, man, I was nervous because part of the reason I don't smoke weed, like, heavily is I get, like, anxiety. I'm like an upper person, man. I operate at a high frequency.
Facts.
So if I smoke, oftentimes I just get anxious. I get all this pent up energy, and I don't know how to expel it.
That's the exact same reason why I don't like it too.
Yeah. So I was nervous. So I ate half the bag of the gummy bears. Hour later, I didn't feel nothing. I ate the other half. I didn't really get stoned, but my son had this little beginner's project of how to learn how to code and build robots. I'll be damned if I didn't spend 3.5 fucking hours building robots and learning how to code with my son.
You were stoned.
It was genuine bonding time.
Genuine stoner time.
Dude, I didn't feel stoned. Like, I mean, granted, I was in the company of a 6-year-old, but
or did your eyes have that kind of like cloudy feeling?
No, man. It was like I took Adderall. I was just dialed into what we were doing. I was fixated. Before I knew it, it was like almost 8 p.m. and I'm like, oh shit, your brother's still down from a nap he took 3 hours ago. And I gotta feed you kids. Now I did take the Crunch Berries this morning. And I will say this. I got in a hot shower. I had this YouTube video. It was 9 minutes long. I was like 7 minutes into that video, and it felt like I had been in that bitch for like 2 hours.
Yep.
Like,
so I don't know. That means you're high, bro. I don't know if you know that or not. When those things happen like that.
The Crunch Berries felt like it. Just the gummy bears didn't, man. So, yeah, your boy is doing edibles now, apparently. Well, not doing them. Like I said, it was a fucking tip, a customer. It was like, hey, do you like presents? Do you like gifts? I was like, yeah.
Well, my thing is a buddy of mine, I bought some weed butter off of him. And I guess he says it takes like a whole ounce to make the butter. So like, I'm thinking like, well, it's probably not going to be that strong. I made some eggs with it and eggs, toast. And I think I put a little bit like in the bottom of the pan to make the bacon and shit. And I had to call off work. I couldn't, like you said, I was just like focused in, drilled in on shit. Like I couldn't really talk to customers the right way. I was like, I called my boss like, yeah, I got a bad migraine, man. I'm going to have to.
Yeah, thank God we weren't doing the show at noon, man. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, thank God we weren't doing this at noon today. I'll say that. All right, okay. Enough of our drug habits here.
Right.
Look, man. You guys, thank y'all for listening. Let's go ahead and run down the lineup. What we got lined up tonight. Let me look over the whiteboard. We got Wade Keller's comments on Keith Lee. Some what might be honest criticism. We'll dive into it. It's quite painful to read. Undertaker in his Hall of Fame news, man. I might be right in that he's not going in by himself, and I have a good argument why he shouldn't. That you guys should stick around for, even if you think he should. I do have an announcement to make. Actually, let's make that announcement now, man.
Let's kick it off.
Yeah, man, we're proud to announce that the SmackDraw brand is a growing brand. So we have brought on Alison and Will Gray. Will Gray, of course, is the host of Botched Spots and Chair Shots. A throwback.
Will
podcast.
And Alison, don't feel bad. It took him like 6 months to be on there to get me Jelly Bean correct. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Oh, look, here's the video. Here's the video for the announcement. I don't know why I didn't just lead with that. There we go. Yeah. So anybody listening to the audio version, it's just the announcement of a new podcast. I think right now, the way it's set up, it'll only be available audio-wise. You guys don't have to learn a new show to look up. It'll be right here on the Smacked Raw brand. It'll show up alongside all of the Rewind shows and all of the Bammer Slammers. We're just giving you guys more content, and we're so stoked to bring them on, man. They've been awesome to talk to in the group chat.
Absolutely. Super knowledgeable, and Alison even forgave me for calling her a racist.
Oh, Jesus, man. I can't believe you did that. Oh, see.
The worst part is I didn't remember the exchange at all. Still don't to this reason. Still don't right now. Like, I don't remember.
You picked too many fights, man.
Yeah, no, I literally, like, I'm not even like I wasn't even surprised at all. Like, I was like, you saw in the group chat, I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. I know you're probably right. And I probably definitely did do that. So welcome to the team.
Glad there was no hard feelings held on to, man. We're stoked to have them on the show. We're going to go ahead and preview Bracket of Champions, the show that we were supposed to shoot last Thursday. It's actually going to be going live tomorrow night at 10 p.m. RN can kind of actually educate myself how that show's going to go.
It's not anything crazy. We'll debate the just like we kind of did with the awards for the March. It's for like the Sweet 16 brackets and everything. So we'll debate who the winner of the match should be, since it'll be the three of us. That's why it was kind of hard to do it with two people because we're gonna need somebody to break the tie on who's gonna move forward and kind of go from there.
Okay. All right. Some Jeff Hardy news. You said you have something about Swerve you want to talk about, and then we're gonna take an introspective look at Brock versus Roman and the women of WrestleMania. And let's go ahead. Let's kick it off tonight with Undertaker's Hall of Fame. So it turns out it's now being reported Undertaker will not be going into the Hall of Fame this year by himself. Now, there's no real reason why. That this sounds like it was already like the plan all along. Right. However, I wish I had the sources here, but there were some people saying that WWE actually for a moment there were considering having the man go in by himself. Honestly, listen, I'm gonna say that this is the right call to make, and I'm not. Hear me out, because I've heard all the arguments why, and they're very compelling. I get it.
Before you even get started, I agree with you. He shouldn't go in alone.
Yeah. Well, so the arguments for it, I understand. They're talking about his legacy, that other Hall of Famers are going to be overshadowed. I get that. There is a factor, though, that a lot of people are forgetting to take into consideration with this. How does Mark Calloway feel about trying to be inducted by himself? Right. You're asking the man to entertain a crowd of people for an hour straight, okay? And then B, Undertaker's one of the boys. Could you know what I mean? Could you imagine just being like, hey, we want to treat you more special than all the peers that you came up in the business with? You can make an argument, he's been impactful on the business, but at the end of the day, he was one of the boys with everybody else. I'm sure that would really feel silly to try and receive that special treatment.
Right. That's why I thought all of this made little to no sense. You're talking to, first of all, the unequivocal locker room leader for how many years for the WWE, an advocate for the wrestlers in the back, and like head of the wrestler court, all this other shit that involves the boys and protecting the business. Like, as much as he is a star and like how much is centered around him, like he doesn't seem like the person to me that would even be comfortable being like the sole center of attention for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, He doesn't seem like that type of guy at all.
So that's the thing, is we're not arguing his significance being that much more impactful or even deserving of it. It's just for the flow of a segment, an hour-long segment, and taking into his personal feelings into consideration, it doesn't make sense along those lines. Right. It wouldn't, man. It wouldn't. I couldn't imagine that he would sit there and go, I should go in by myself. Ignore everybody else this year. There's no way he would want that. I do not believe that for a second, that is what that man would want.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, so it looks like we'll be getting some more announcements probably as early as tonight. We're recording this, of course, before Monday Night Raw. So, we'll probably start hearing more Hall of Fame announcements now that we're officially on the road to WrestleMania. Yeah, so. Next, have you heard of these comments Wade Keller made about Keith Lee, man?
No, I did. I mean, I've heard them, but I purposely didn't look into it so I can hear it on the show and react to it on the show.
So I wish I had the link already set up. Here we go. So essentially, he's discussing some worry for Keith Lee's health. He's got some pretty harsh, like, honest truth. He speaks as his friend. Like, where's the quote here? Says, oh gosh, where is Wade Keller? Let's see here. Wrestling news. Wade Keller addressed some of his comments about Keith Lee. He says, I'm not in the Keith Lee hater club. I'm his only friend because I'm not enabling him and acting like the reason that he wasn't successful, or he hasn't succeeded, as much as he should, is the fault of only Vince McMahon. It's not. It's on him. And this is from friends who care about him and who talk to me. If Keith Lee is wrestling, he's in the ring putting his health and the well-being of his opponent on the line. If he's cleared for that, he can be cleared to work out and get in shape. So that's where the thing is coming. He says, if the idea is he can't possibly get in shape because he has COVID and he might die, or he went through stress, then take some time and get in shape. or don't wrestle if you can't. I mean, that's not an argument. So essentially what he's saying is Keith Lee's debut and so far his appearances on AEW, apparently he doesn't look like he has quite in the shape he was in WWE. Right. There's the speculation that he can't work out to get in that shape because of the residual effects of COVID. So the gap he's trying to make is if you're not in shape enough to work out, you shouldn't be in the ring wrestling.
Right.
I don't necessarily know, man, because, you know, Keith Lee's not the only person whose figure has changed since he's left WWE. Usually a lot of guys actually kind of let themselves go a little bit, or they let their shape, you know, change a little bit when they leave. Keith Lee didn't look that bad to me. He did look like he's carrying some extra weight, though, from when he was in WWE. I will say that.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think Wade said anything that was necessarily that bad. I mean, he's right. If you're saying you're too sick or not cleared to work out, then you shouldn't be in the ring putting your safety and an opponent's safety in jeopardy as well. Like, I don't think what he said was out of line. I mean, and we can all see that he clearly does look heavier, but
that's the thing. Is he not, like, are there reports that he's not in shape? Are there reports that?
Well, yeah, no, that's like, I get that part too, but I mean, like, what the action, if you just take out the feelings and whatever else from it, just take out just the core of what he actually said. He's right. If you're not cleared to work out, or you're scared to work out because of health reasons, you definitely shouldn't be in the ring because of those same health reasons, because you're probably exerting yourself more in the ring than you are working out. So it's like,
and then not to mention, you're also, like he did say, out of concern for his opponents too, is you know, you have to be in shape enough to make sure you could look after the guys that you're working with. What I'm wondering is, are there reports that Keith Lee can't work out? Are there reports out right now that
I haven't seen Keith Lee, and that's the part, like, where did that part come from?
Exactly.
Like, did he hear something, which he very well might could have? I mean, because of all the dirt sheet guys, like, I probably respect Wade more than any of them, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my only thing is, are there reports right now that Keith Lee is under some type of restrictions with his workout? Because then I'd say, okay, cool. But if you're just looking at the man and you're like, okay, he looks 30 pounds heavier than he was in WWE, here's my take down this rabbit hole, I'd like a little bit more than that. So I would imagine maybe, he is being told behind the scenes. Maybe somebody is telling him, like, yeah, Keith Lee's just taking a little bit more cautious in the gym right now, this and that, which that would be alarming to me. That would be.
Yeah, because like I said, I just don't. Wade, he's not the one, like, that says shit for, like, shock value. Like, that's why it's kind of surprised me something like this coming from him, honestly. So maybe I think I'd give him the benefit of doubt of any of the dirt sheet guys that, he probably heard something.
Okay. Yeah, let's see, man. Okay, now on to some in-ring stuff. I made it a point that we wouldn't just be strictly news. I want to talk about some of the story stuff going on here, and I think one of the most intriguing things. What's your take on this MJF and current CM Punk chapter that they're going through here, man? Where MJF has like a backstory.
Right. I don't like it. No? I don't like it. I mean, let me preface that. Like, I love how it went and how it came off, and it was fucking flawless.
Yeah.
But this is not MJF. Like, MJF is a heel. Like, I don't want him as a face. I don't want us to have any type of sympathy for him. Like, he was the only real heel we had in fucking wrestling. There was no in between. You fucking hated him, and that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want this for this type of feud that they were having.
Do you think,
like, it fucking makes me sick to my stomach, actually?
But do you think it's a swerve? Do you think MJF is trying to get CM
Punk's
guard down for the
It's going to be a swerve. Well, first of all, AEW has they literally cream their pants and bust their load early every fucking time. Like, there's no doubt about it. This is going to be a swerve. It's just right up their alley. That's what they do. But, like, going this far with it and, like, yeah, like, I'd feel better if it wasn't a swerve, but you already know it's going to be. Like, TK can't help himself.
He cried on command.
Right. That's
He
what I'm saying.
cried
Like,
there were real tears being shed by
because all the shit he
MJF.
said was true. Like anybody that knows him and that like followed his interviews and stuff, everything he said, all that shit was true. That wasn't like a swerve. Like,
Yeah, so if you guys are wondering, over on AEW, MJF and CM Punk have this ongoing feud right now. CM Punk ultimately lost his match in Chicago against MJF. Wants a rematch. That's what we're set up for at Revolution. CM Punk 2 weeks ago mocked MJF for being a fan, pulled out a picture of a young Maxwell Friedman getting his autograph signed by Punk. And then last week, MJF shed some light on how essentially he was bullied, laid right into the anti-Semitism. Oh man, did not shy away from it. That was kind of raw. But essentially that he was bullied. CM Punk was his hero. He was getting like football offers, but he learned he wanted to be a wrestler. Then CM Punk left the business, broke MJF's heart, and essentially went off, did his own thing, gave up on wrestling, and then came under the new mentality around college age that he would take up professional wrestling in spite of CM Punk. And now, essentially, his former love for his idol has turned into hate and rage, and honestly, given some really great backstory on all of this.
My thing is, like I said, I don't hate any of that. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
But don't give it to me the sympathy way. Give me the fucking frothy, spit flying into the mic, you know what I'm saying, in CM Punk's face, forehead to forehead version of it. Not the fucking sappy, you know what I'm saying, us starting to feel something for MJF part and then bringing Punk out. It was
tough, man.
Like I said,
I was in the moment. I was like, "What am I feeling right now?" Like,
as a minority that went to a predominantly white school in rural Ohio, trust me, I felt every fucking word of that them talking about him being a Jew and everything like that. Like, I felt that at my fucking core, and I fucking hated it for the fact that I felt sympathy for MJF.
Jesus Christ.
I love him, but I love that I hate him. That's, you know what I'm saying? I want to continuously hate seeing his face. I don't want to feel sympathy. And I think that's what it all boils down to is we give people shit about talking about the old school, but to me, the only old school part of wrestling that I love and give a shit about is heel versus face. I want clear definitions and clear lines between who I'm supposed to cheer and who I'm supposed to boo. Now, I'm going to pick the guy that you're supposed to boo because that's just, I'm a dickhead and I'm an asshole. I'm the MJF of my life. Like, that's what I like. But I don't want any blurred lines. I want, this is the bad guy, this is the good guy.
Yeah, I think and that's what we're getting. I think that's what we're getting. Yeah, I really do. When CM Punk came out there, I was like, dude, if he starts shit talking him, this ain't gonna make no sense. I was like, the man should just walk up and hug him. And that's kind of the equivalent of what we got.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did. Yeah.
Off mic, you could barely hear him, but he was asking him, "Is this true?" MJF just fucking crying, staring at him and shit, and walked off. Yeah, it was some raw stuff. It definitely had a lot of people feeling different types of ways. But I think ultimately, it's a swerve. It'll cost CM Punk the match. That's what I'm thinking. Is they're trying to get away to where CM Punk doesn't get the win back, but can still be protected. And I think this is it. I hope
this is a Mark Henry Pink Salmon suit situation.
What do you mean? Like CM Punk's gonna fake retire after this?
No, like get us all behind him because we think he's going to retire. Like thinking MJF's turning a new leaf, and then really he just shits the bed on him.
Oh, that's what he's doing. There's no way he's turning face. He's not turning face. We got face MJF when he was with Cody, and nobody bought it. Like nobody bought it for a second because we did get babyface MJF. Whether in story it was a ruse or not, we got babyface MJF for like 2 months, maybe. You know,
something like that.
Yeah. So, no, I love it though, man. I can't wait. That's one of my highlighted matches for Revolution. Now I'm stoked for that dog collar match. You know, I've never seen the dog collar match with Cody and Brody Lee. I missed that episode of Dynamite. Never went back and watched it.
Well, even I saw that.
Yeah, I know. I need to watch it, man. I need to watch that, and I want to go back
You got
and watch.
Spectrum on demand. They got all the episodes on there.
I know, man. I know. I just have a hard time missing an episode and going back and watching it. Like if I miss it, I missed it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I really
Unless
don't.
something crazy happens, I'll go back and watch. But for the most part, like if I don't watch something in one night, then I'm probably not going to watch it.
I think what it comes down to is if I know who wins.
Right.
Then I have a hard time getting myself through the match. And that's what happened was I knew who won by the end of that night anyways. I need to go back and watch that, and then I want to watch Cody and Dustin Rhodes again. I want to watch that again. That was a really good match. What else, man? What else we got going on? Oh, Jeff Hardy apparently spoiled his own debut in in AEW, man. You think this is really fucked up, man? He might be in some hot water because he's still technically under employment with WWE, and that's contract tampering. Apparently he was being interviewed or something backstage at a show, and just flat out said, "I'm going to AEW." Like
I don't, but it's not if you're saying it. If someone else is saying it, then it's tampering. Like if Tony Khan said it, it's tampering. It's not tampering if you say it yourself.
Still, man, you gotta spoil it for everyone. Like, just
it's
like we already know. I mean, we know
it's Jeff Hardy. When has he ever done anything that made sense? This is the dude that climbs up the top of 50-foot fucking ladders and jumps off.
Yeah,
why are you surprised?
Oh man, yeah, the worst kept secret. It's probably it's up there with CM Punk. Like, yeah, everyone knows. Everyone knows what you're doing. I'm just wondering is how many indie dates they're gonna do before he shows up in AEW.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Yeah, because remember because Moxley got announced for his return at GCW before AEW, but then he turned up on AEW, I think like a week or so before his GCW match. So I think I could be wrong, but I remember like he had to be like once they announced GCW, it was like okay, we got to get you on AEW television as well. But yeah. I'm reading the chat right now. JJ says there's 3 matches booked so far, because as they said, it's written in the contract. Oh shoot, I guess I missed some stuff in here. These guys are chatting a lot. We got Bama, we got JJ, and then we got Will from Botch Spots, in here as well, man. But yeah, so Jeff Hardy, like, let's go ahead and what do we want out of Jeff in AEW? It's Hardy Boys, right? I mean, that's it.
I don't know.
Are we doing the Brother Nero, Broken Matt? Is that what we're doing?
I really don't want. I really hope he does something different. Like comes in with the Hardy family or HFO, whatever, and with his suit and shit on it, and kind of gets in the mood with Matt. I'd like to see that shit. Like,
no,
you know what I'm saying?
That,
like something.
Man. No.
I'd definitely like to see that more than any of that Nero shit or any of that shit with the fucking.
I want to see the Willow. I want to see Willow. I never got to see Willow.
All the same shit, man. You didn't miss him. That shit's all garbage.
Is it really?
I never liked any of it. Optimal Jeff Hardy for me is when he faced the Undertaker, when he was just like kind of like
top,
a punk,
blonde hair, and got some blonde hair, Sharpies on his arm.
Exactly, like just like fucking like a man of the fucking people, like a kid. They went to a Hot Topic and just pulled a kid out the fucking store. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my Jeff Hardy. That's the Jeff Hardy that I.
No,
like.
I'm right there with you. I once he started doing the neon paint with the face and stuff, like I wasn't really a big fan of that either. I liked Gen 1 Team Extreme Hardy. You know what I mean? Gen 1, maybe Gen 2. But yeah, his ladder match with Undertaker. It's crazy how random of like a match can like because when that shit was announced, it was no big deal.
Yeah,
Undertaker's gonna squash this kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it made a fucking star, and people remember that match like it was yesterday. And that shit happened almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The same thing with the John Cena Kurt Angle Open Challenge.
Right.
Never was it.
And that's how they're supposed to go. Like when you have those matches like that to make a new star, like we don't get enough of that. That's how you do it. Even your top guy still goes over, but it still leaves a place in people's eyes, the guy you're trying to get over. So like that's where we I don't know where we got away from that at. I don't know if it was from people just jealousy and people wanting to hold their spot and shit like that. But like we got, or just like we keep saying, they're just really not trying to make any new stars because that never happens anymore, ever.
Yeah.
Like we never get a Chris Jericho versus Triple H for the world title on Raw. Like we never get anything like that.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, Thunder Rosa Britt Baker was pretty good. That's what Bam was saying. I'll say that was a good breakout for Britt. It just worked in the opposite. You know what I mean? Where John Cena and Jeff Hardy were solidified as like baby faces, like white hot. It kind of did the same thing for Britt as a heel, but made her badass. Kind of like, who was it? It was Randy Orton and Mick Foley in their like hardcore match or whatever. Yeah,
or Edge and Mick Foley. No, it's Edge and Mick Foley.
No. Randy Orton when he was going through the Legend Killer shtick.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like as far as like proving one. That it gave Edge that fucking edge. No pun intended. Gave him that
because he got the rated R the live sex show.
Right,
was the following night. That's when we got rated R.
He gave him the edge that he wasn't just like the pretty boy Intercontinental Champion that he can fucking go to distance and go get down and dirty.
Trying to think
in and out of the bedroom.
Okay. So Britt Baker's a good example. Although it's not like Thunder Rosa was the aging star giving the rub though. Like this was like an opportunity for both of them. Yeah. Where's a good example of like a star, like a well-crafted veteran, a recent one that put over a younger person and really made them.
I can't think of any recently.
Not recently, no. Because the closest one,
I guess you could say Adam Cole versus Carmelo.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean that one just didn't. That's like such a niche audience. You know what I mean? Right. Unfortunately, but then again, who's this? AEW is a niche audience, so who the fuck am I talking about? Right. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, there's that. I think the last big one. Here's a hot take: was Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, but it wasn't Brock Lesnar's first time into stardom. It kickstarted his second run. And really I
could go along with that. I can go along with that one.
I feel like when not saying Brock Lesnar would carved out a good path, but it's like him beating Undertaker really took him to a fucking like god tier, which we haven't seen until Roman Reigns lately, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely I could go with that one. I wouldn't argue with you with that one at all.
Yeah. Okay.
We got a fucking meme out of it. That black dude with his eyes wide open.
It made
unforgettable.
A meme. Yes.
Unforgettable.
Okay, Daniel Bryan beating Triple H. No, excuse. Well, yeah, Triple H, but Batista and who was it? Randy Orton in the triple threat.
Well, I don't think that made him either. Like the Yes movement was already strong, and like there was no doubt going into that.
No, I'll give that. No, I'll give Bama points on that. I got to give him something on that one because that was WrestleMania 30. I mean, it's a huge match. You know, I mean,
and I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying like I don't think either way how that match had turned out. I don't think the Yes movement was, you know what I'm saying, like undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Like it was already there coming. Like they couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
So they had to adjust on the fly to it. Like I don't think that.
Oh, I like what Standing Streamer just said. He said Orton putting over Keith Lee on his debut could have been that, and it really could have been.
Hell yeah, because nobody saw that coming.
Had Keith because he squashed him.
Yeah,
he squashed the shit.
I totally forgot about that. That is a good one.
Damn, it's just they didn't capitalize on it. You know what I mean? They fucking we know what happened. Right. You know, but
he's all elite. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Fucking Bearcat. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah, man. No, I want to see the next star. I want to see the next star made.
It's Austin Theory. They're taking their time.
Yeah,
we're not giving them enough credit for this. And when the fuck has Vince been on screen with just a superstar, not out talking shit?
Yeah,
not you know what I'm saying, like throwing his weight around for a match or something. Like actually in skits with the superstar.
It's surreal,
seriously, when's the last time that happened? I'm asking a real question. Like I'm not being like rhetorical. Like I really don't remember.
What was his last story? Maybe Kevin Owens. When Kevin Owens headbutted the shit out of him, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But like, even then, it you know what I mean. That was more or less a proxy to get to Shane.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying. Like
this is
when has he actually like been in a storyline and in segments with the superstar. Like I keep telling y'all this. I'm gonna keep saying it
Oh, I believe you, man.
I'm telling you, I've been saying this. Like I seen it from the first time I seen that kid in person when he was like 19. I was like, holy fuck, this is John Cena remade.
Yeah. No, theory's legit, man. I love seeing him now. He's one of my favorite parts of Raw.
Facts.
See what that kid and you're right. I am excited to see what's next because it does feel like we're getting to see somebody at the ground floor before they just shoot way up. Yeah.
Because he's winning, but he's not winning a lot. And they're not doing 50-50 with him either.
No, you're right.
Like he'll win like 2 or 3 matches, then he'll lose one, but it'll be like some dumb shit happens. Or you don't really pay attention to it.
Brock Lesnar.
Or it's still, or he gets a big spot at a pay-per-view. He loses, but he still gets a big spot at a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally just like putting pieces that are like Lego set fucking together until we get a complete. And we need to start watching them, giving them credit. Like we keep saying they don't build any stars, but they're building a star. They are literally building a star from the ground up.
No, man, I actually agree. So that's the next guy. We'll get his big match.
Well, actually, I think Riddle is the next guy. Then I think Theory's going to be right behind him.
The verdict's still out on Riddle for me, man. I not saying the potential's not there.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if WWE will actually like pull the trigger with him. That's what I.
That's the thing. That's where I'm at with the two. But like
we've now seen him around Goldberg and around Brock Lesnar, and they didn't give him nothing.
But a lot of that is also too. Those two men have come out and said they want nothing to fucking do with it.
They want nothing to do with it.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So like, normally, like if there's not both on record saying that, I take that with a little bit more of a grain of salt where he just gets annihilated. But literally both of them said, fuck that guy. I wouldn't give him the time of day. So that way, that is why I give them.
I'm not your bro. I'm not your bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, all right. Normally I would say you're right. But for those two situations, because he literally called both of them out for over a year. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, and they were on the roster. So it would be different if they weren't, but they were both on the roster. They weren't at TV at the time, but we know they were both signed. So like, I'm not gonna give him take anything from him for those two situations.
We'll see, man. Hopefully he ain't got himself blackballed back there. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's all right. I mean, he's still paired up with Randy.
Right.
You know, they got their shit going, man. They got their stuff going.
And when it comes to Brock, nobody's blackballed when it comes to Brock when it comes to that green.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, if Brock sees money in it, he's not.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he will put all personal feelings aside for that check.
Speaking of Brock, what's your take on the unification match? And then what's your take? And this is to a lesser importance. What's your take of it being referred to as like the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, or the what's it called, the biggest or
most stupendous?
The most stupendous. No, but they're labeling the match like it's going to be the greatest.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're labeling the match like it's the greatest main event of WrestleMania history. The same thing that they did with Randy Orton and Edge, where they were like, it's going to be the greatest match of all time. They're doing the same thing here with the silly branding. It's almost parody to the level it is.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I told y'all so. I've been saying it since last summer that we were getting a fucking unification match at WrestleMania. Yeah. Please go back and check the tapes because it's there. I've said it numerous times. I saw the writing on the wall for this as soon as Brock came back. So as soon as I knew Brock was coming back, I just knew this was coming, especially with all the cuts and then breaking everything down and all the shit we've been hearing about the networks wanting more equal time with champions and shit and all that, and USA being unhappy. Like I knew this was coming, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not going to be the double champ. It does not look like they're doing. Like I said, they're not doing the double champ.
Yeah, supposedly, it says unification.
Unification. So. This will be the first time since, I believe it was John Cena or Randy Orton. One of them unified.
I think it was Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
The two belts back then. It wasn't the Universal. It was. What was it? It was
the World Championship.
The World Championship and the WWE Championship. That's right. Yeah. Oh man, where's the billing, man? Where's the picture? because I have it here, but I'm trying to find the damn. It's
I just feel sorry for the champ because the champ's gonna have to be everywhere now.
Yeah. Oh my God! Someone I know you guys know it in the chat. How is it they labeled this stupid match? It's not stupid actually. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
So we know Roman's gonna be champ at least for another year. Then
it really seems it, man, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At this point, how do we even? It's like, dude, if it's not Brock, who the hell is it? It can't be. It can't be The Rock. You can't have Roman go God tier over the roster for 2 years, 3 years straight, and then have a celebrity take it off him. No disrespect to The Rock's history in wrestling.
Hopefully they do this like they should have been doing it, like they kind of did in the past, where the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title kind of take over both shows, and we start getting like workhorse guys and guys that are really trying to like build up, hold those titles. So then when it comes down to it, we'll have at least one or two guys that we can maybe see. Because as of right now, like we've already gone through this, like there's nobody on either roster that I would consider a top pick to take Roman Reigns down right now. Definitely no one on SmackDown because Drew's been fucking circle jerking with Corbin and them for the last 6 months. Big E, they completely washed him out. It's not even like he was a champion a couple months ago. Bobby's hurt. Riddle and RK and Randy are still in the fucking tag team. Like, there's literally no one there that's worthy of a WrestleMania match main event, but Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and then not to mention, not even plausible that they'd even be able to get that belt off of him. You know what I mean?
Like it would like I don't know what they're doing, and it doesn't make me. It kind of makes me excited to see what's going to happen because since they're going to do the unification, but it also is like, do they really know what the hell they're doing?
Well, I mean, we'll see. It's like you're booking yourself into a corner here, with the two. I say give it to Brock, man. I say let Brock beat him. I say let Brock do it. Let's see, because Roman right now is what, 0-2 against Brock at WrestleMania?
I'm almost, something like that.
Yeah, because they faced each other, and then Brock, they lost. Well, I mean, they lost to Seth, and then, or is it the other way around?
I don't know. What's Bama know? What's he talking about?
Let's see here. They say, well, I mean, for one, yeah, it's being labeled as like the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time, which is obviously they're just trying to advertise the children for that shit. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting. I mean, whoever takes it, because like you said, having to bounce between brands, and then for people that like to play pretend like wrestling promoter online, hearing all the drama that'll go on between like Fox and USA of making sure the champion is equally represented on both shows and not one brand, like, one station getting the shaft.
Right.
Having Roman.
And all those. No, go ahead. My bad.
Okay, so Roman is 0-2 to Brock at WrestleMania, according to Bama. Okay, so yeah.
All of this is going to do is the grand split is going to be fucking pointless because whoever he ends up being in an angle with, that person's going to be on both shows too. You know that's going to happen.
We just went through it. I mean, because what do you do? Like, otherwise, What do you do? Like, you can't. You're right. Because what would be the point of him appearing on SmackDown and the feud can't continue?
Right.
Yeah. So you're right. The rules, which they're already super loose, on the brand split as it is, they'll even.
See, if I was him, I would do it like that. Where if he's feuding with somebody on Raw, he stays on Raw. And he's feuds with somebody on SmackDown, he stays on SmackDown. Because then that way, if you keep it like that, instead of him bouncing around, you get to prop up the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title to be the focal point of the show because the champion is going to be on the other show.
Well, that's what they did with Brock Lesnar when he was champ for almost 2 years straight, it felt like. The U.S. title and the IC title became the A titles on television.
Right.
Which I remember.
And that's how it should be, honestly.
Yeah, I remember that did rub people the wrong way a lot of the time, but yeah, it's weird. Pro wrestling is so weird because
well, a lot of it is with Brock too is he wasn't around. It wasn't so much that those titles got propped up.
He just wasn't there holding the belt. You didn't
exactly.
You had no pictures of your world champion on TV.
Was that part I didn't like. Like I did like that they were both propped up because they should be. Because back in the day, like you had to hold the Intercontinental title, even get a world shot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you had to have that on your resume. You had to have that workhorse title to even be considered a contender. Now it's just like I don't even know who the fucking Intercontinental champion is.
Oh, it's Sammy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's about to drop that shit to Knoxville, man. We're gonna have
see,
that
like
IC
shit like
title.
that.
The IC title is gonna pop up on the DVD version of that new Jackass movie.
Right. See, like shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
that makes no fucking sense.
Fucking Knoxville. God damn it, dude. Knoxville's gonna be our Intercontinental champion. I know it.
Yep.
They're gonna do it, man. Because I mean, how else do you do that? Like Sammy goes out of WrestleMania and wins. Oh, big whoop. What was the fucking point? You know?
It's going to be bad regardless.
Yeah. Bama says give him a year to build up contenders. Well, that's the thing, man, is I could see Roman holding it that long, but you have to have contenders being built up. You cannot have your subpar storytelling like we're conditioned to with WWE.
And wait till January to try and build a star.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Have got to take your risks and push these guys and make their wins and losses matter. Because we're seeing exactly that. What we're seeing that issue is they've booked Roman perfectly, like with all of the investment they've put in Roman, but they've put like barely any of that into anybody else, like a fraction of the effort into building other guys up as plausible opponents. You know, outside of Brock. You know, who saw Brock coming? With this great babyface turn and all his promo work, gotta give Brock his dues here.
But that's the thing. We can't keep going back to Brock. That's the problem.
I know. No. I got
that's like you know what I'm saying. Like that is the problem.
Mania, but we gotta do something afterwards. We gotta have something lined up, man.
The 50-50 booking is a problem. The fucking 19 matches in a row with the same guy is a problem. Like it's just like.
Yeah,
we're still saying the same. So like, let's just move on. It's getting depressed.
Oh man,
why are you doing this to us, WWE? Fuck you, Brock Lesnar, for having two fucking Hall of Fame careers.
Jeez Louise,
that's the part we got to look at. Which Brock Lesnar's going in? Is he going to go? He should go in twice. Serious. Like I'm not saying that to be
next
funny.
Big thing, Brock. And the one in 21 and 1 Brock. Two different entries. Exactly. That's two different Brocks.
He literally has seriously, he has 2 Hall of Fame careers. Like he really does.
No, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. If you literally took next Big thing Brock all the way up until he left for UFC, and then that's a different wrestler from 21 and
completely
1.
Different wrestler.
Yeah, 1 and 21 and 1 Brock. Yeah, that's 2 Hall of Famer careers right there. I'll give you that, man. Easily. Now, granted, the second one would be more.
Yeah.
But we've seen other guys go in for way less than the first run. So, yeah. Bama suggests Braun Breaker. Bring him up. Man, that's a lot of work to get done.
Yeah, like just stop with the Braun Breaker stuff. Like, come on, man.
Oh man, I love it.
Actually, bring him up so we can see how ass he really is and
let's
how
get him,
ready he's not. Yes,
let's have Roman dress down Braun Breaker, dude. That dude would cry. He'd have cry face written.
Like, come on, bro. Like, Jesus, his voice is so fucking annoying. Like, he's not ready.
Yo, listen, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I've been watching NXT. I'll transition over to NXT. I didn't plan on talking about this, but it feels like I got to bring it up. When the fuck did everyone get so horny on NXT?
Oh yeah, I think it was just because it was Valentine's Day. But yeah, everybody was shooting their shots. Like it was.
It's still going. It's still.
I didn't watch. Wait, I watched last week.
What? Because you had what Brooks and Dunn guy shooting a dating video,
right? That he didn't have to.
Persian Parada was making out with Duke Hudson, who was
already banged.
Who's revealed to be Indy's ex in front of Dexter Loomis. Then you have Toxic Attraction. By the way, not so much story wise there, but just go on Twitter and look at Gigi Dolan's recent fucking photo.
This
shoot.
is what happens when you have these old ass horny old men taking over. We're back to having relationships and everybody like we haven't had this type of shit in fucking 10 years. But as soon as you put Pritchard and McMahon in a room together with some hot young chicks, here we go.
NXT, dude. Everyone's trying to fuck on NXT right now, man. Everybody. It's been like I've been watching, dude. I mean, hell, it is what it is. I'll say, like I've tuned in. It's different than what I'm accustomed to watching, but
right,
yeah. Bama says it's definitely the new attitude era. I think they're trying. I mean, I'll give it that it's probably the most sexualized I've seen women on WWE television in a minute, maybe, but. And the more angles, but it's still very tame in comparison to the fucking like mud pit matches and bikini nightgown matches and what was the match like the bikini or evening ground match where they had to like strip each other and the winner like the loser was the one who was stripped down the bra and panties match. Yeah, we ain't quite there yet. We're not quite there yet, and I'm not honestly trying to bring that shit back either. Like,
no, the shit was garbage.
I don't feel too good when I go back and see that shit. I really don't. As a 13-year-old though, thought that shit was fucking magic, man. No wonder my mom was like super embarrassed when she saw me watching that shit. She fucking hated how women was represented. She used to tell me.
My mom didn't know a fucking thing that was going on.
Oh man, no, mom
never did.
My mom caught there was a match. I remember this clear as day because I felt guilty as fuck. Because it was the first time I realized my mom was not that like I realized my mom was a woman, but like,
no, you're right that you realized she was a woman besides your mom.
Yeah, I remember it was like a Stephanie McMahon match, and my brother and I were just losing it laughing at how terrible of a wrestler Stephanie was. Like fucking just obnoxiously laughing, and my mom was fucking mad. She's like, I hate how women are represented on that, and like to something to that degree. And I felt fucking awful. Like I did too. I was embarrassed for my mom that I was watching that. Still remember that shit to this day too. It's so weird because that's the only thing I remember from that episode. It's like SmackDown. But yeah. Speaking of women, segue. Bama wanted to bring this up. This something about the two main WrestleMania women's matches are going to be on at the same night. Something like that. Yeah, let me pull up the text because this was his suggestion. Him and Alison said this would be good. So let me pull it up here. Where is it? Okay. Here we go. So right here. Okay. Becky versus Bianca and Charlotte versus Ronda are both announced for night one. And will they let the build-up both determine the main event or stick to the Rumble winner? Oh, I guess wondering like who's going to main event that night. Right. So they're going to stick both women matches on the same night. And then he goes on to say that Becca and Bianca is a better story, but of course Ronda was the Rumble winner, you know.
Right. I think it should be Ronda and Charlotte.
Nah, man, it's got to be Becky and Bianca. You got to go with who's going to deliver the better match.
No, I don't think that's what you do for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is not our pay-per-view. You go with the biggest star who's going to get the most eyes and who's going to put the most asses in the seat. Ric Flair's daughter versus Ronda Rousey is that match. Like I personally would love for it to Bianca to headline of WrestleMania 2 years in a row.
2 years back to back, right?
That would be the shit, and I think that would be the move. But this is not SummerSlam or the Rumble. This is the everyman's pay-per-view. They want everybody to be involved.
And there's always that defining factor, too, of Charlotte Flair.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. Yeah, I mean, if I was... It's exactly what a WWE move would do. That's a WWE move. Yeah. You put the mainstream star of Ronda with your essentially the women's division of the Golden Shovel in Charlotte Flair. Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that neither of them will main event?
Yes. There's always that too.
You know. I
One
wonder.
opens the show and one's the match or two before the main event.
Let's see really quick. Let me see what's some rumored WrestleMania matches. The biggest one right now, the most recent one, is Vince McMahon taking on goddamn Pat McAfee.
McAfee shot that down.
I bet he did.
Miz and Logan Paul is the only one I can see them like.
Yo, yeah, as a tag team taking on the Mysterios.
Right. There is no matches besides Roman and the tag title match, because then it's supposed to be like a 3-way or some shit now, or is it 3-way this week?
I think it's this week. Yeah, I think it's this week. Let's see here. As of 2 days ago, let's go with SB Nation WrestleMania 38 card and rumors. Lesnar versus Roman, Charlotte, Ronda, Becky, Bianca. The Miz and Logan versus the Mysterios. Edge versus to be announced. Who did we say we thought this was going to be? Oh, AJ Styles.
AJ. I guess that would probably be it.
Yeah. Sami Zayn in Knoxville. And then, of course, the rumored Austin and Kevin Owens, Vince and McAfee. Okay, so they don't have any extra speculations going on either. All right.
I hope they let one of them main event, but you know how that goes.
Honestly, out of every name that was just listed there, it's probably Ronda and Charlotte.
Yeah, I that's a no-brainer.
And then, like I said, because I feel like there's the way that you play to your fan bases individually.
Yeah.
You got 2 nights, women headline one night. You keep that fan base happy, like and still proud that
that's
women
what it
are
has
being
to
represented. Yeah, and then of course Brock and Roman closing out the show one night too.
It has to be that. Like, there's no doubt about it. That's
no,
the way it has
I got
to be.
you. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, in that case, I'd like to see Bianca and Becky open. Give us a killer match.
Yeah, no, I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
It should booking. Let them open and then Ronda and them finish.
Okay, that's not that bad. I guess that's not really that bad. Yeah, because if you had one main event, the other one's probably, unless they're, like I said, an opening match on night 2, they'd probably be lost on the card anywhere else.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Well, it's good that we're getting Bianca getting her revenge for SummerSlam, though. I gotta say, that was the thing I kept fucking going off about. It needed to happen. So
definitely hope we get that payoff for sure.
Yeah, awesome, man. Some good shit. Some good stuff to look forward to. Let's see really quick. Since we're shooting this before Raw, why not? Let's see if there's a Raw preview on really quick, and then we'll get the hell out of here. We still have do you know if I was just thinking about this? Justin, who does the beats.
Mm-hmm.
Do we call him Justin or is it Jaylan? Because he's got himself labeled Jaylan everywhere, and I feel like a dick if he's going by Jaylan, trying to get this name going, and I'm sitting here calling him Justin the whole time.
I don't know. Well, we just call him Justin because that's in our group chat. That's what we called him.
Yeah, I know, right? And I feel bad now because if he's got this persona going and we're breaking kayfabe every time we talk about this dude.
Well, ask him.
Yeah,
What the fuck are you
that's
asking
the
me
easiest.
for?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get some shit going here. Raw preview for tonight. By the way, stick around for Justin's beat. He did Raven's theme this time. Fucking awesome. So the official WWE or Wrestling Inc.'s Raw preview. It says the road to WrestleMania 38 will continue tonight with WWE Raw, where it airs live from Nationwood Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Your neck of the woods, man.
Yep.
How far is that from you?
Like an hour.
Hour? Oh, damn, man. You should be at Raw.
I just went to Raw like 2 weeks ago.
Go again, man. Fuck it, dude. WWE Hall of Famer Edge will appear on tonight's show to address his plans for WrestleMania. AJ Styles totally coming out. WWE champion Brock Lesnar is not advertised for tonight's show, but the WWE website does have the injured Bobby Lashley as scheduled to appear. They have announced the following lineup for tonight's show. United States champion Damian Priest defends against Finn Balor. Finn has eaten that L. RK Bro, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens, and the tag team champions Alpha Academy prepare for fucking ads. God damn it, making pop up everywhere. The triple threat title match the following week. So yeah, their tag team titles are being defended on next Raw. Gotcha. And then Edge once again, addresses his future. Stay tuned for Raw, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Let's get there.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It should be all right. Hopefully it'll be all right.
Raw's been really good.
Yeah, it's been all right. Bama says Alexa Bliss's hometown. That was a fun show, man. It was a fun show. You guys stick around. May have some more announcements coming up soon. Once again, tune in Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time if you ever want to catch this show live. Unless, of course, RN eats some bad tacos again. And yeah, we'll just have to figure it out.
Oh, now that you say that, it could have been bad tacos. I just realized that shit when you said that.
And I just
fucking Taco Bell. God damn.
Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a good one.
See y'all tomorrow night.